Hey there, aging equestrians. It's Christy and Logan. We are actually post-ride. This is the intro, but I couldn't do the intro like before we rode because it's really windy outside. And somebody was a little bit spooky because we're riding by ourselves. They've switched over to nighttime turnout, and because it's Sunday, I actually came up this morning. So I usually ride, or I did, with the old schedule, like at 5 or 6 p.m. So he was a little bit like, what are we doing? It's morning, oh my gosh. Yeah, check that chair out, buddy. So I decided to do the safe thing as an aging equestrian, and there is one other person in the barn, but there's no one else in the ring with me. So I decided to do our warm-up and get everything set up. I did film the ride, and so that will be part of this vlog because I wanted to show you what I've been doing with him for his fitness. Because if you'll remember all his lameness videos from before, he had that mini attack, which wasn't really an attack. He just saw the mini outside and was fine until the mini started to run around, and then he thought it was a fire-breathing dragon. And he ended up rearing, falling, and hurting himself. So we recovered from that, and this spring started really well. He was doing really, really well. And then you'll see the Double Jinx video, or things equestrians shouldn't say, because I said he was sound and doing really well, and then he double abscessed. And so he was two-legged lame. Watch those videos, you can see how much he was hobbling around. And now that he's had the okay to get back into work from the abscesses, he's been really stiff. And in that left hind end, right, where you had your injury last year, and the massage therapist said that those muscles are so tight and the hip is so tight. So I do consistent massage, right, before every ride. And I put in, I have some sort of circulation increasing liniment, I forget the name of it, and I put that on the whole hip area and the other hip too. I know, it's like a process. It's a really long process. But then I came back into riding him, and he was still like off, and I was like, okay, so I think we're gonna have to start like we did after you hurt yourself, because it's those same muscles that are super tight, and I wanted to make sure they loosened, like not in a flabby way, but in a, okay, we actually have this much stretch, we have this much range of motion. So what I started to do was set up poles like this. That one is crooked because they're the light PVC pipes, and when Logan touches them, they move. But what I do is I actually walk him around at angles so that he has to walk over them, almost like I'm going to leg yield or side pass over them sometimes. Then sometimes I just do real nice bends around them. But the objective is to make his hips and his hind legs come underneath himself a little bit, go out to the side, and then have to kind of push off and stretch to reach over things, just to kind of make his hips move in their full range of motion. And since doing that this week, previously last week I was not able to ride him 2 days in a row without the second day he was really, really tight and sore. So today is the second day in a row, and you'll see in the video that he even starts out like so much less stiff than he was before. So I'm really, really happy with this pole work. I don't know how scientific it is. I didn't really get it from anyone. I just talked to the massage therapist and my trainers about how to move his hips around to get him to strengthen, to stretch, and to loosen. And, you know, they gave me different ideas, and I kind of just put them all together. And so this is what I've been doing. Check it out. Hello, fellow aging equestrians. This is Logan. You okay? I mean, they look nice. What do you think of them? What do you think? a little bit like watching paint dry because Logan is so slow. This is the very first like steps out, and I always take my time and I really just work on bending him and doing nice big loops over the poles first. Nothing too sharp. I don't worry about his head really, because you shouldn't really worry about the head until you've got the hind end and the back end, and or the back and the hind end and all that stuff. So we're just casually doing this, walking around in big circles, and I spliced a couple of things together so I did not bore you too much, but here we are going in the other direction, and this is how I kind of approach the poles more at an angle, so that he kind of has to like almost sidestep over them a little bit, and he's got to move his feet around. The first one always goes a little better than the second at the walk when we're being pretty lazy, but at least he does get to do some stepping across and underneath himself a bit with his hind end. And I always do a bunch of these before we trot because I want him to really warm up the hind end. And so that's kind of just what we're doing here. And I make sure I do both directions, and I am going to trot, so I do stop and tighten the girth, which is super important. Make sure your girth is tight. And he's pretty good about that. And here we are. This is literally the first trot steps, literally. And he'll cough, and normally, or like last week when he started, he was so stiff that I actually just had to bring him back to the walk again so many times because it was bad. But this was feeling much better. You can see he is short in the hind end a little bit, but that was, just once around the ring. And then I kept on going with the recording because he literally, on this circuit around, like the second time around, he is so much better and feeling so much more fluid and a lot less stiff. So it really, I think this pole work really does help him. And so what I really try to do with it is I just do long, big circles and then go back in and do the pole work and then go back out and trot. And that's really all that I do. So those are the poles, and they're really easy. Logan, will you go do them? Just show us. Will you go show us? Can you do them by yourself? Can you please? No? You're tired of doing them? That's what we've been doing, and I think it's been working out nicely. Oh, and look, this helmet did fit. I've been wanting a trauma void helmet for a really long time. And although I wanted a navy colored one, this one was on sale for only $140 from State Line Tack. And like you just, color doesn't matter at that point. You just get the helmet that you've been wanting for a couple of years and waiting for a big sale on. So that's what I did. And it fits really well. The problem that when I was trying it on, because you're supposed to wear it for like 15 minutes and see if it gives you like squeeze headache or if it's too loose or whatever, I forgot I had a braid in when I was trying it out, and so it was digging into my forehead too much. But once I took the braid out, it was perfect, and I love it, and it doesn't move at all, and it fits really well. and it's light weight enough that it, yeah, it doesn't feel super heavy, but it fits really nicely, and I really like it a lot. So, are we happy, Logan? Yeah, he's ready to take a nap now. Yeah, you're gonna nap the rest of the day? Okay, sounds good. Well, if you guys have any suggestions for how to help Logan and move Logan's hind end around, please comment below. Send me infographics or give me some descriptions of other things that we can do that'll help build up his hind end and really kind of get him strong and stable again, because I'd really like to do some jumping, right? Logan loves to jump, I love to jump, so we'd really like to get back to that, but can't do it if the engine isn't running properly and the structure isn't there. So please leave me some suggestions. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't before, please like the video, comment, and or subscribe, and I will see you all soon.